Hello, my name is Carl Tyler. I'm from Apelio, and I'd like to show you the Revolabs FLX2. So the Revolabs FLX2 is a speaker conferencing system that can be used with your UC systems such as SameTime, Microsoft Link, or even Skype. And it also works with your Bluetooth telephone and your regular telephone line, your POTS telephone line. So it consists of really two main components. The first is the base station. Now the base station here is what connects the speaker system to the telephone line or the Bluetooth device or your PC wirelessly. So there's a wireless connection between the speaker and microphone system and this base station. Now if I turn this device around, you can see some of the capabilities that you have for this device. There's currently a network port which is actually not currently used, and we have auxiliary in and out. So this is your microphone input and output if you plug it into a PC, or if you have a more sophisticated audio system in a room, you can connect it to this here. There's also two USB ports which currently don't do anything, but I'm hoping in the future you'll be able to use them instead of maybe the 3.5mm sockets to connect to a PC. And then the last connection is the telephone line, and also obviously over here we have the power input. So this base station has slots on the back, so if you wanted to mount it to a wall you could, but that can sit somewhere in the room, away in a cupboard, or on top of a table, wherever you want to place it. As I said, this base station connects to the speaker station. Now the speaker station actually consists of a few components. So again, we have a couple of sockets on the back. One's a USB port, which is also not doing anything yet, and the power socket. And that power is charging the wireless microphones, which you can see here. There's two of them that come apart from the device. And we also have the handset, which is charged, and we have the speaker. Now the thing that's different about this device from your traditional speakerphone system that you see in most offices is the speaker can disconnect from the base station, and it will now work wirelessly. So you no longer have a connection between the microphone and the speaker. Now this is really useful if you're in a room where there's people different ends of the table. You can give one person at one end of the table one microphone, and people at the other end of the table another microphone. Again, they're wireless, there's no cables between them. But the thing I think this probably helps with most is if you've ever been on the conference call at the other end and you hear somebody dragging the speakerphone across the table, trying to get the microphone or the speaker closer to them. By having the microphone and the speaker separate, nobody hears when you drag this speaker across the table and place it somewhere else. The handset gives you the ability to dial out phone numbers using the phone line. It lets you accept incoming calls. It also gives you the menus and the capabilities to do things like muting a phone call, hanging up a phone call, things like that from the handset when you need to make or receive a call. Why is it nice to have this separate to the speaker? Again, you're not having to reach over or lean over the table trying to dial a telephone number or see what telephone number's dialed or what number's coming in. You have it in your hand and you can take it. The other thing that's nice about having this as this separate handheld device, you can use this as a regular private phone. So if you're on a conference call and want to chat to the person on the end privately, you can just unplug it from the dock and chat to them, and you can switch between it being the conference call in the room or the one on the handset. So you can use this, as I said, with systems like SameTime, Microsoft Link, or Skype, or actually any system that uses the mic input and output on your PC. And you do that using the auxiliary ports that are on the back of the device. Now these are phono ports, which means they're mono phono, they're not stereo. And one thing I did find during my testing was I had a problem where I couldn't get the microphone input to show any output from this device when I was trying to use it with a SameTime meeting. And I actually had the same problem with Link and the same problem with Skype. And it turned out the problem wasn't the Revolabs device, the problem was actually my PC. My PC had some kind of hardware switch in there that says if it's a phono connection to the mic input, it won't record anything. So what I had to do was I had to just buy a cheap cable from Radio Shack, and this actually will take the mono inputs and give me a stereo output. And using that, I was then able to use the device with my PC. Now it turns out this is inconsistent across PCs and Macs. It all depends on what chipset's in the PC as to whether it will work or not in mono. Turns out my desktop PC works in mono, but my laptop only works in stereo. So something to be aware of if you ever get one of these devices and you're trying to understand why you're not getting mic input. It took a while, and thanks to the folks at Revolabs for helping me out. So let's make a telephone call. So I'm going to put the speaker over here. So it's probably just moved out of shot. And I'm now going to take the handset and make a telephone call. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, the number that people always dial when they're doing demos is movie phone. So let's just take the microphone out here. So I'm going to use the microphone. It's dialing the number.
Hello and welcome to Movie Phone.
So it's welcome to Movie Phone.
To use our speech-enabled system, press star 2.
Press star 2.
To search for a movie, just say the name of the movie you want. To choose from a list of movies, say
Contagion.
Movie. Contagion. If that's not it, say go back.
Go back.
My mistake. Which movie did you want?
Harry Potter.
I didn't catch that.
Harry Potter.
Please say the movie name again.
Maybe Harry Potter's finished. Senna.
Sorry, I'm having some trouble understanding.
So it's having trouble understanding me, but you saw the first film that I know was on a local cinema. It was able to find that without any trouble at all, and I was able to use the handset to dial the call, and the microphone here was what was being used obviously as my microphone for the call. Now if I'd been on the call and put this back in, it would actually mute my microphone unless I unmuted it using the handset. Now there's two microphones that come with this system. You can see here they're two different sizes. One's actually a lapel mic that can clip onto a shirt, and the other is one that you can also place on the desktop. So this, you can see, has 3 small rubber feet, so I can place that on the table, and it means that if there's vibration or people walking around in the room, or the tables being shoved about when people are using their laptop, or that clickety clack of keyboards, it doesn't get transmitted through the device through the physical connection with the desktop. The lapel mic here and also the desktop mic, you can see there's a button. This button is for mute, and on the top of the device there's also a flashing color that indicates whether you're muted, charged, or charging. Now, as I said, this here is not foam. It looks like foam, but it's actually a porous plastic substance. And what this means is it's solid. So it's not like a foam microphone cover where it's going to get worn out and break off over time. In the same way, the speakerphone here has that same porous plastic inside the cone here. And the thing that's really nice about this device, I think, is how it looks. I mean, if you're a company and you have this sitting in the middle of your conference room table, I think this looks pretty sweet. And definitely if you want to look modern, futuristic, this is a device that will suit that purpose. So this is the Revolabs FLX2. It works, as I said, with your PC audio, so you can use it with things like Same Time. I've used it with Same Time Unified Telephony. I've used it with a TCS/PI solution, and I've used it with just the Same Time peer-to-peer audio as well, and it works great. It works well with Skype, and it also works well with Microsoft Link. Hoping in the future that the USB ports will let it connect to the PC directly that way as an audio device. The device retails for just under $1,000 at $995, and the company's website is revolabs.com, and they're based in Massachusetts, which is just where they're just outside Boston. And this review has been brought to you by Epilio.